Good evening, Phoenix, and good evening, Derby fans. Are you ready for some roller derby action? Let's try this one more time, and let's see if we can get a properly cranked up response going for the final regular season bout of the season. Are you ready for some roller derby action? Welcome to the Hall of Dames. The Arizona Derby Dames are the only league offering you fast-paced bank track roller derby in Arizona. I am Old Greg, tonight announcing with Chingadora and Becca Recker. Tonight we have a doubleheader. Your first game of the night will be the defending champions, the Runaway Brides versus the Brutal Beauties. And game 2 is going to be the Bombshells versus the Playground Bullies, the Schoolyard Scrappers. Both games will be exciting. Some ground rules first, please. No whistling as it can interrupt the game. Please keep in mind when in line for the bathroom, skaters take priority. For the safety of our skaters and yourself, please keep your body parts outside of the track by remaining behind that yellow line around the track at all times. With that being said, let's get this party underway. Regulators will be getting underway with safety checks here momentarily, and then team intros, and then the first whistle in about 16 minutes. All right, Derby fans, while we carry out the safety checks, we'd like to introduce to you the regulators that are here this evening. And your regulators for the first bout tonight, starting off at backpack referee Bender B. Rodriguez.
On stats, Chosen One.
Jam ref number 2, Hoover Slam.
Head ref, Infidel Castro.
Penalty tracker assist, Lollipop.
Penalty box, Lucifer.
On outside pack referee, Meryl Streak.
Front pack ref, Stab at the Christie.
Penalty box, Optical Delusion.
Eye in the Sky, Professor Rigama Kill.
Eye in the Sky, Racy Tracy.
On PT, Scully Glossbones.
Outside pack referee, Daddy Mike.
Whomping Willow. On whiteboard.
Game executioner, Freya Hugs.
On scoreboard, Paolo Rollins.
And your jam referee is Ref Boyardee. On behalf of the regulators, Captain Lollipop, give up some love for the regulators. It could very well be the only love they get all night. All right, Derby fans, it is time to introduce the teams. We would like to kick things off by introducing your Brutal Beauties. Yeah. Skating tonight for the Brutal Beauties, number 103, Abby Arsenic. Number 244, Damn It, Jam It. And number 925, Evil Twin. Number 011, Hitori Hanzo. Number 602, Lady MacDeath. Number 440, Mourning Madness. Number 2323, Quiver Phoenix. Number 97, Rigama Roo. Number 616, Craven Cadavers. Number 30, Zora La Bruja. Number 666, your co-captain, Witchy Woman. And number 2187, your captain of the Brutal Beauties, Princess Leia. Helping the team on the bench tonight, our bench coach, F.N. Riot, and penalty manager, Gash Wednesday. Not skating tonight for the Beauties, number 5150, Allie Bye. Number 26, Beautiful Trauma. Number 717, Rocky Horror. Number 731, Turbo Torture. And number 9, MK3, Gypsy Danger.
And now, here are your Runaway Brides. Number 772, I'll Annihilate Ya. Number 501, Anita Margarita. Number 3, Goldie Blocks. Number 623, Holly Hood. Number 100, Cryptic Callie. 95, Lightning the Queen. 13, Little Bo Reap. Number 113, Lux Breaker. Number 192, Milani Mangler. Number 213, Militia. Number 1221, Pretty Please. Number 2115, Watermelon. Your co-captain tonight, 00, Nova Kane. And your captain of the Runaway Brides, number 1, Ellie Mayhem. Helping the team on their bench tonight, our bench coach, Cherry Kiss, and penalty manager, Troy McClure. Not skating tonight, number 7813, Lumber de la Luna. Number 714, Ash Over Teacup. And size 9, La Chancla.
Derby fans, please rise for the national anthem. Tonight's national anthem singer is Becker Recker. Becker is a member of the Arizona Derby Dames and skates for the Doomsday Valkyries. Becker likes to get involved with the Dames in many ways, from announcing and reffing to singing the national anthem. She's been singing in choirs since she was a child and is excited to perform for us tonight.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous flight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
As we prepare for our first jam of the night, please be aware that there are ladies coming around selling raffle tickets for both a 50-50 raffle as well as raffle prizes. Some raffle prizes include a goodie bag from Siphon Draw, tickets to the Maricopa Fair, goodie bags from the Brutal Beauties, Deadbolt knee pads, a massage, a jump center gift certificate, Diamondbacks tickets, a $300 tattoo certificate from Uncle Josh, and a necklace from Superstitious Jackalope. Our minor assaults also have a punch contest going on by the mural wall, and it is for AZDD Inspire. The prizes include gift cards, car washes, AZDD items, Cardinals merch, mini golf, Arizona Natural History Museum. There's also a grand prize of a Caribbean vacation. You can do a punch for $20, so you're guaranteed a prize no matter what. It just depends on which one. $20 a ticket to go and participate in that punch contest. They also have popcorn for sale for $1.
All right, we are ready to get underway here with our first bout of the evening. Last regular season bout for all teams involved tonight. And on the jammer line first for the Runaway Brides is going to be Milani Mangler, number 192, and it's Witchy Woman jamming for the Brutal Beauties.
Both jammers trying to break out of that pack. Looks like Milani Mangler is going to be your lead jammer for this jam. Witchy Woman still in that pack, trying to get past those last Runaway Brides blockers. As Milani Mangler approaches for her first scoring pass, is able to run right on that inside and is going to come around for more.
Witchy Woman now trying to find her way along the rail, still pinned in there by a couple of those Runaway Brides blockers along the front of the pack. Milani Mangler now mid-pack herself, making her way through that wall of Beauties defenders and able to finish a scoring pass.
Witchy Woman still trying to fight past Novocaine and Goldie Blocks. Lightning the Queen delivering a hit to the high side on Witchy. As Milani Mangler passes for some more points.
And the clock expires on the jam. 15 points for the Runaway Brides in the first jam of the evening. Taking the line now is going to be Holly Hood for the Runaway Brides and Princess Leia for the Brutal Beauties.
Princess Leia approaching that pack on that back wall of defensive blockers. The Brides not letting her past. Holly Hood is able to break out on that high side there in turn one. Is going to come around for her first scoring pass. Holly Hood able to slice right through that pack.
Holly Hood quickly through the pack. You saw Princess Leia trying to follow her through, but that door quickly closed by that Runaway Brides defender on the front end of the pack. Holly Hood now on a scoring pass, takes a tumble, colliding with one of her defenders at the back of the pack, and she calls off the jam with Princess Leia out and coming around looking to score.
We've got Watermelon taking the jammer line for the Runaway Brides.
And jamming for the Brutal Beauties is Rigama Roo.
There's the whistle for the jam. Both jammers trying to break through here on that backside. Watermelon towards the front of the pack now. Rigama Roo behind the Bride's defense in the back. Watermelon ends up breaking out of that pack in turn 2. She will be your lead jammer.
Collision along the back straightaway there as Rigama Roo trying to get through those defenders at the front of the pack, running into Goldie Blocks and Lightning the Queen at the front of the pack on defense for the Runaway Brides, as Watermelon now trying to thread away through the pack, dealing with Craven Cadavers and Mourning Madness on the front end of the pack. Getting some help from her pivot, and they spring Watermelon loose with 16 seconds to go here in the jam.
Watermelon coming around for some more points. Rigama Roo is still trapped behind Goldie Blocks and Lightning the Queen. Watermelon breaking through here on turn 3, and that's the jam.
Another 10 points on the board for the Runaway Brides as we set up for our next jam. And this next jam is underway. It's going to be Cryptic Callie jamming for the Runaway Brides, and that's Abby Arsenic for the Brutal Beauties. Cryptic Callie quickly to the front of the pack, and Shakes clearing as the lead jammer for the Runaway Brides.
Abby Arsenic trying to break past Hollywood and is able to break out there on that coping. Cryptic Callie coming up on her first scoring pass is able to break through the pack and calls the jam before Abby is able to pick up any points. Hitori Hanzo taking the jammer line for the Beauties.
And for the Runaway Brides, that's going to be MILITIA.
Looks like Hollywood picked up a penalty during that last jam, so the Brides are going to be down one blocker. Tori's able to run right out on that inside, straight through with MILITIA close behind her. Let's see if we can get some points on the track for the Beauties, and she calls it. Too close.
So no points for either side there as we pass 10 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Stepping up to the jammer line for the Runaway Brides is number 501, Anita Margarita.
Up against Lady MacDeath for your Beauties. Anita Margarita able to break out through a hole on that center of the track. I'm not sure. It appears maybe Lady Mac was almost out and might have called it.
And so we are setting up for the next jam then. Number 2323, Quiver Phoenix, jamming for the Brutal Beauties. And jamming for the Brutal Beauties, I believe that is Watermelon.
Quiver Phoenix trying to break past Milani Mangler here on the front side. And she's out. Phoenix is out and going to come around for her first scoring pass. Watermelon trapped behind a strong Beauties defensive wall.
Quiver Phoenix now threading her way through the pack. Up against a solid wall of Runaway Brides defenders now at the front of the pack as well. Trying to sneak by along the inside, just runs out of real estate. Watermelon now at the back of the pack. This has turned into quite the defensive struggle. Now a big collision kind of breaks things open, and Watermelon able to pick her way through and get out of the pack. So Quiver Phoenix calls off the jam.
Looks like we've got some points on the board for your Beauties. Great job by Quiver Phoenix picking up 5 points.
Setting up the jam now for the Beauties is going to be Princess Leia, and for the Runaway Brides, that's Little Bo Reap.
Little Bo Reap able to run straight through that pack, finding that hole. Princess Leia still behind Bride's defense. And Sleia's out. Little Bo Reap collects her points and calls it before Sleia reaches the pack. We've got Lightning the Queen taking the jammer line for your Runaway Brides.
For the Brutal Beauties, it's number 011, Hitori Hanzo.
The Brides are going to be down one blocker. Annihilation picked up a penalty during that last jam. It's going to be 4-on-3 with the Beauties the advantage. I take it back. There's one more penalty on the board for the Beauties. 3-on-3 in that blocker box.
And this jam gets underway. Both jammers quickly up to the front of the pack. Lightning the Queen able to slingshot around the outside of a couple of her blockers, and she is your lead jammer for the Brides.
Hitori Hanzo trying to break past those last blockers. But the Brides keep recycling in front of her as Lightning the Queen passes for her first scoring pass.
Hitori Hanzo now to the front of the pack with those two Brides defenders, and they're able to get those defenders called out of play, and they cut Hitori Hanzo loose. Lightning the Queen now approaches the pack, runs into the defensive wall, and goes ahead and calls off the jam.
We've got Pretty Please taking the jammer line for your Brides. It's good to have her back on that track. Up against Evil Twin for your Beauties. Both teams picking up penalties during that last jam. They'll be down a blocker each.
And now the jammer for the Beauties called down. Looks like we've got our first power jam of the evening. Pretty Please now is going to do the jam for the Runaway Brides. Brutal Beauties picking up a jammer penalty in that last jam.
Princess Leia delivering a clean hit to Pretty to the inside, able to stay on that track. Pretty Please trying to fight her way past Beauty's defense. Princess Leia ends up falling, and Pretty Please is out here in turn 3.
.30 seconds to go here in the Runaway Brides Power Jam. Pretty Please now quickly up upon the pack. Takes a tumble there and collides into the back of one of the...
A weird little spill.
And Pretty Please through the pack and goes ahead and calls off the jam. .5 points on the board for the Brides during that power jam. Now setting up the jam for the Brutal Beauties.
We've got a power jam for a power jam. It looks like it. Gonna wait on the regulators to finalize that whiteboard to see what's going on.
So we do have an official timeout.
During this official timeout, we would like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Off the Hook Taco Truck. They are a locally owned and operated taco truck serving SoCal Baja inspired cuisine. They have chicken and vegetarian options available as well. Visit them outside if you're hungry for something delicious.
Of course, don't forget, fans, one more time, we'd like to let you know about the big fundraiser for the Arizona Minor Assaults. They have the punch contest. $20 wins you a swing at the prize wall. You punch through the little tissue paper things and pull out yourself a prize. $20 over there by the popcorn machine just outside of turn number 2.
We had some shuffling around, and after this OTO, we've got 2 jammers on the track. Goldie Blocks for your Brides and Princess Leia for the Beauties. Princess Leia trying to get past that last blocker there on the inside, but it looks like Goldie Blocks is out and will be your lead jammer for this jam.
Tightly bunched pack now. Princess Leia trying to stay up on the track and trying to get by that last blocker, but Novocaine says, eat some guardrail. Goldie Blocks along the inside, and she completes a scoring pass and is through the pack.
Princess Leia still behind Bride's defense.
Goldie Blocks now catches the pack again. Princess Leia emerges from the front of the pack for the Beauties. So Goldie Blocks goes ahead and calls it off.
We've got Hollywood on that jammer line for your Brides.
And it looks like she's out there all by her lonesome. It's going to be another power jam for the Runaway Brides. Hollywood calling out some blocking instructions to the squad here. And the jam is underway. Looks like the Brides have one blocker in the penalty box, as do the Beauties. So it's an even 3-on-3 pack. Hollywood quickly through the pack.
Runaway Brides doing a great job of keeping those Beauties separate, so they're unable to wall up in front of Hollywood. Hollywood's able to avoid that hit from Abby as she comes around for another scoring pass.
Hollywood up to the pack now on a second scoring pass. Tried to find an opening, but collided with the skater and took a tumble, but back up. Get some help from her blockers, and she's through the pack with 20 seconds to go here in the Brides Power Jam. And Hollywood completes another scoring pass with a little bit of fancy skate work. 5 seconds to go. The pack now trying to keep away as much as they can. Hollywood trying to catch up, but that's going to do it for the jam clock. So no further points in the Power Jam.
We've got MILITIA taking that jammer line for your Brides. Up against Rigama Roo for your Beauties.
Hollywood putting 15 points on the board during the Runaway Brides Power Jam there. 2 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Fun fact about Rigama Roo, she's actually a helicopter engine mechanic for the United States Air Force. That's pretty cool. MILITIA able to break out here in turn 2. She will be our lead jammer for this jam. Rigama Roo was also out there in the straightaway, about half a track behind MILITIA.
MILITIA now up to the pack, makes her way through and calls off the jam. 3 points on the board for the Runaway Brides there during that jam. It's going to be Cryptic Callie for the Runaway Brides, and jamming for the Brutal Beauties is Evil Twin. And down along the inside, Evil Twin finds an opening, and Evil Twin is your lead jammer for the Brutal Beauties. Cryptic Callie trying to deal with that last blocker and manages to weave her way around and clears the pack as well.
Evil Twin's going to hopefully pick up some points here and call it before Callie's able to pick up any points. It's really awesome to see our rookies out there giving it their all and also able to capture that lead jammer role. And she was able to pick up 1 point for the Beauties. Great job, Evil Twin.
Jamming now for the Runaway Brides, number 00, Novocaine.
We got about 20 seconds left in the first quarter.
And jamming for the Brutal Beauties is going to be Craven Cadavers.
Craven Cadavers able to run out on that inside with Nova chasing her.
Craven Cadavers is game for the chase, and it's going to be a jam race back to the pack. Craven Cadavers trying to stay in front of Novocaine and says that's going to be about enough. Novocaine pats her on the back on the way by, and the crowd gives a pretty good rousing cheer. Always good fun to have a nice jammer race in there, huh? That is going to do it for the first quarter. We will step aside for a brief break here and announce some raffle prizes, of course. Right now, your score, Runaway Brides 83, Brutal Beauties 6.
Our 50-50 raffle is already at $210. But if you're interested in winning some free swag, cheer.
There we are. Yeah, Black Eyed Please says, let's hear it if you want a t-shirt. Coming on down the front straightaway, and there it is. Lucky winner over there in the corner, appreciative.
All right. Let's get to some raffle prizes. Our first 2 raffle prizes. So, if I can get that raffle screen up on that board. To win our siphon draw baggie, it will be ticket number 518076. That's ticket number 518076. Please come to the raffle table that is located to the left-hand side of the announcer's booth to claim your prize. Our second prize, 4 tickets to the Maricopa Fair, ticket number 518050. Ticket number 518050, come and claim your prize. We've got several of these packages for the Maricopa Fair donated tonight. That fair is going to take place April 13th through the 15th, I believe. So that is coming up fairly close. Buy raffle tickets to win some of those free tickets for the Maricopa Fair.
We are ready to get back to the action. You heard that whistle, and it is time to get things started. We're going to start things off with a power jam for the Brutal Beauties. It's going to be Abby Arsenic out there on the jammer line all by her lonesome.
Abby Arsenic trying to break past the Brides defense. Her team trying to play some offense for their jammer. Abby's trying to get past Pretty Please, and she makes it out. She is out here in turn 4.
Abby Arsenic tried to go by along the inside and caught a hip in the process from that back defender for the Brides. Able now to get past that defender, and now the front wall of the Brides defenders has reunited there, so she's got to go to all the work of getting around them one more time. And you can see the strategy here. She's trying to get them past, pushed far enough away that they're out of play. You can see the rest of her team is holding that one Brides defender in behind, and that keeps them from being able to keep moving forward as the clock runs down on the power jam, and that's going to do it.
For those of us that are joining us for the first time in the warehouse, I'd like to break down the game for you in a very simple way, hopefully. Each team is going to render 5 players out to the track. 4 of them are going to be blockers. They are lined up towards the front in the blocker box is what we call it. Then each of them will also have a jammer, which are the girls that are lined up in the back with the stars on their helmet. Those jammers are the only players that can score points. The jammer needs to break through the pack first, and then after she is out, for each time she passes that pack and group of blockers, she will collect points. For every opposing team member that she passes, she will collect points. For example, right now, the Brides jammer is your lead jammer. She broke out first. She's coming around to pick up some points right now. For every opposing team member that she passes, she will pick up points. She just passed all 5 of them, so that is 5 points for the Runaway Brides. The Beauties jammer is still in the pack. She is not able to score right now. Militia is coming around for her second scoring pass. And as she breaks through this pack trying, the pink blockers are also trying to play defense and stop her from collecting any more points. We got about 7 seconds left in this jam. Each jam lasts 60 seconds or until the lead jammer calls it. When the lead jammer calls it, she taps her hips twice, and the jam will end then. Roller Derby 101, Bank Track, Roller Derby 101.
You will see now in the jammer line for the Runaway Brides is Anita Margarita, and jamming for the Brutal Beauties is Lady MacDeath. And quickly to the front of the pack goes Lady MacDeath, able to make her way through the defenders, and she is your lead jammer for the Brutal Beauties. Anita Margarita now finds her way to the front of the pack, gets some help from her blockers, and she's clear of the pack as well. 2 recent graduates of our Fresh Meat program here at the Hall of Dames. Lady MacDeath catches up to the pack, looking for an opening now. And with Anita Margarita closing in quickly, Lady MacDeath calls off the jam.
We've got Witchy Woman taking the jammer line for your Beauties up against Watermelon for your Brides.
And
Looks like one of the Beauties blockers picked up a penalty during that last jam, so they'll be down a blocker for this jam.
Those Brides defenders, the Brides defenders were able to hold the Beauties jammer in check. We did not get her past anybody, so no points scored during that jam.
Witchy Woman trying to play some offense off the line. She's able to escape there on the inside, breaking out of that pack in turn 1. She is now your lead jammer. Beauty's defense having to let Watermelon go over there in turn 2 as Witchy approaches for her first scoring pass.
Witchy Woman now trying to fight her way through the pack and pick up as many points as she can. Keeping an eye on that jammer for the Brides approaching the pack, and Witchy Woman calls it off. Picking up 2 points for the Brides in the process. We are going to have Little Bo Reap jamming for the Runaway Brides, and for the Brutal Beauties, that is Princess Leia.
Little Bo Reap trying to break through that pack. Princess Leia's towards the front right now, trying to get past that last blocker and ends up taking a hit to the inside as Little Bo Reap breaks out of the pack and is your lead jammer.
Princess Leia now back up to the front of the pack and trying to do battle with those defenders. As at the back of the pack, here's Little Bo Reap maneuvering her way around that defender, now trying to find her way past the last of them and dodges a down skater. Almost dodges a down skater, excuse me. I did not see that coming. She just sort of disappeared there for a second. Went down with everybody back up on all 8 wheels, so it looks like we're doing okay. Before we get on to the next jam, we are going to have a timeout.
Freya Hugs aggressively pounding the track with her foot to call that official timeout.
And it is an official timeout, so the regulator is going to discuss a little bit of the game action there that went on in the previous jam. Make sure we've got all the penalties accounted for and skaters in the penalty box as they should be. One of our longtime league sponsors, Copper Star Coffee, they're a locally owned coffee shop and cafe providing hand-blended drinks and award-winning baked goods. They're on the southwest corner of 7th Avenue and Heatherbrae, just north of Indian School Road. It's Copper Star Coffee.
We would also like to give a shout out to our sponsor, Plagued Fitness, providing those infected by fitness, roller derby, and healthy living with clothing for that contagious lifestyle. Visit their website at www.plaguedfitness.com.
Looks like we are ready to get underway. Everything is all sorted out. All the I's are crossed and the T's are dotted. Number 3, Goldie Blocks, is on the jammer line for the Runaway Brides. Hitori Hanzo is jamming for the Brutal Beauties.
Both jammers trying their luck on the low or the high and getting stuck behind defense. Goldie Blocks taking a hit to the inside from Witchy. Mads able to deliver some offense on Lightning the Queen and get her jammer out here in the straightaway. Goldie Blocks still in the pack, trying to get past those last 2 Beauties blockers. As Hitori Hanzo approaches for her first scoring pass. Hitori Hanzo trying to break through. Her team trying to play some offense for her. It's fairly quick-paced pack right now.
Now Hitori Hanzo picks up a blocker, her pivot, but she goes ahead and calls off the jam. That Bride's jammer was on her way around in a hurry. 2 more points on the board for the Beauties. We are halfway through the second quarter. 97-15 is your score at the moment. It's going to be Evil Twin for the Brutal Beauties.
Cryptic Callie for your Runaway Brides. Pretty light pack.
Evil Twin.
I'm waiting on the whiteboard so that I can see. Oh.
Everything's sorted out there. A late penalty on the Beauties, so the Beauties have 2 blockers in the penalty box. Cryptic Callie able to make it through that sparse pack, and she's your lead jammer for the Brides. Now clearing the pack as well, it's Evil Twin. Evil Twin clears the pack as well for the Brutal Beauties. Cryptic Callie threads her way through the pack, picks up her points, and calls off the jam. Setting up the jam now as the Brides put 4 points on the board and go over 100 points for the bout, excuse me. Jamming now is going to be Novocaine, number 00 for the Brides, and jamming for the Brutal Beauties, number 97, Rigama Roo. Rigama Roo picks up a little bit of jammer defense from Novocaine and gets dumped on the ground as Novocaine clears the pack.
Rigama Roo able to break out here in turn 1 as well. She's about half a track behind Nova.
Quickly moving pack now making its way down the front straightaway. And Novocaine gets through, picks up what she can and calls it off before Rigama Roo can approach the pack.
Looks like Novocaine picked up a penalty during that last jam, so it's going to be a power jam for your Beauties.
Brutal Beauties send out Princess Leia to the jammer line.
A power jam means there is only one jammer out there, therefore they are the only team that can collect points. A power jam is a very advantageous situation to be in, specifically right now for your Brutal Beauties. They need points. So she will be the only active scorer out there taking the track as she comes around for her first scoring pass.
Princess Leia tried to find room along the inside, but that door is quickly closed by Hollywood, who now spins quickly back around to the front of the pack to key that defense. And there goes Princess Leia finishing a scoring pass halfway through this power jam. Princess Leia coming around for another.
Princess Leia coming around for some more points. Takes a spill there in turn 2. Gets up. Still has about 7 seconds left on the clock to get some points, but ends up deciding to call it. She was able to pick up 10 points for the Beauties. Fairly successful power jam for your Brutal Beauties.
However, and unfortunately, she was also assessed a penalty. So it was a cut track penalty, meaning that she exited the track and then, is it skating out of bounds? Skating out of bounds, I'm sorry. Old Greg can't see the whiteboard, I'm just relying on hearsay. Apparently it's skating out of bounds on Princess Leia, which is and a cut track, so we got it covered going and coming. This is an official timeout, by the way. The regulator is going to talk that one over, make sure we've got everything properly sorted out penalty-wise from that previous jam. It is going to be a timeout for the Runaway Brides.
During this timeout, we would like to give a shout-out to Third Space. Come and join us at the Arizona Derby Dames official after-party location, Third Space. Tonight, after both of these bouts are over, join us at Third Space. It is a cafe, bar, coffee, and shops and music located at 1028 Grand Ave.
And with just 4:45 to go until halftime, don't forget about fantastic food options for yourself here at the Hall of Dames. If you're looking to pick up a little bite to eat, we've got the Minor Assaults popcorn machine down there just outside of turn number 2. We've got the Arizona Derby Dames snack bar inside here, and of course the Off the Hook taco truck. Fantastic fish tacos and chicken and vegetarian options as well. Back to the action. It is going to be a power jam for the Brides. They took that team timeout to talk over some strategy, and that's going to be Lightning the Queen jamming for the Runaway Brides.
The Beauties doing a great job of keeping this pack fairly fast towards the front. Splitting that pack as Lightning the Queen breaks out of the pack here in turn 4. Beauties trying to reset their defensive wall in the back with the Brides in the front. As Lightning the Queen comes in to collect some points, she breaks out there in turn 1 and is going to come around for some more.
26 seconds to go here in the Brides Power Jam. Lightning the Queen now coming around again. Brides defenders trying to form a little formation there to keep those defenders pinned in, and they do. And you saw then some more Derby 101. You saw that last Brides Beauties defender wasn't able to block. It's because she was more than 20 feet from the pack, so she's out of play. 5 seconds left on the jam clock here. Lightning the Queen trying to finish this last scoring pass before the clock expires, and that's going to do it for the power jam. And it's a 15-point power jam for the Runaway Brides. Setting up to jam now is going to be Anita Margarita for the Runaway Brides and Witchy Woman, Abby Arsenic for the Brutal Beauties, excuse me. And Anita Margarita quickly down to the inside, able to dodge a block from one of the Beauties defenders. Anita Margarita is your lead jammer for the Brides.
Another one of our rookies this season, fresh out of fresh meat, coming around for some scoring points, jamming like a rock star with a giant smile on her face. It's not fun. If it's not fun, you're not doing it right.
And there goes Anita Margarita around the outside of the pack on a second scoring pass, and will be coming around for thirds.
Abby Arsenic still in that pack, unable to break past that Bride's defense as Anita comes around for some more points. Sliding through that pack, picking up that last jammer point. She's got about 5 seconds left in the clock. And that's the jam.
Clock expires on the jam. Anita Margarita, to a cheer from the crowd, skates to a stop and gives a small bow for the crowd there along the back straightaway. And we're getting the official score up here. It is a full 15-point power jam for Anita Margarita. 2 minutes to go until halftime. It's going to be Novocaine jamming for the Runaway Brides and for the Brutal Beauties.
Quiver Phoenix.
Quiver Phoenix. I think I'm on a streak of like 5 straight jams where I've misidentified the Beauties jammer. This is a pretty impressive streak this far into the season.
We've got both jammers still in the pack, approaching turn 2, trying to break through. Hard spill in the back.
Quiver Phoenix fights her way up to the outside rail and trying to find an opening there. Those last 2 Brides defenders keeping her pinned in as they make their way into the front straightaway. Lightning the Queen of Milani Mangler, not letting Quiver Phoenix through. You saw Novocaine try to go down to the inside and root it off onto the infield. And there goes
Rigama Roo helping her jammer get out, playing some offense in the front.
Novocaine out of the pack as well, so is going to force the issue for Quiver Phoenix here. She'll have to see what she can get up to the front, trying to get past those last couple of skaters, but they were going to stay out of her reach, so she calls off the jam.
Evil Twin taking the jammer line for her Brutal Beauties.
And Little Bo Reap on the jammer line for the Runaway Brides.
Looks like we've got a full pack in the box, 4-on-4, as Evil Twin tries to break through. And is greeted by MILITIA in the front. Lady MacDeath trying to play some offense, ends up unable to. And Evil Twin taking a backwards hit from Al.
Little Bo Reap on her way around now and is your lead jammer for the Brides. Evil Twin up to the front of the pack trying to get past those defenders for the Brides. Little Bo Reap bumped down to her knees, but quickly back up on her wheels, trying to find an opening to complete the scoring pass, going around the outside. Had a huge block attempt there from that Beauties blocker, and Little Bo Reap had the Princess Leia tried to put a block into it. Little Bo Reap absolutely had the advantage there. Big collision. That's
See a lot of hard hits and a lot of hard falls, but that's roller derby.
So we will step aside. It is time for the halftime break. It is going to be a 15-minute halftime break as we step aside here just for a few minutes. We'll be back with you after 15 minutes of halftime. We'll get the official score to you here momentarily. Let's hear it for our merch crew. We've got some merchandise tossers now out there ready to give you guys some merchandise. And here along the front straightaway, looks like somebody, and down, there goes Black Eyed Please down the back straightaway, straight down towards the first turn. Let's hear it along the bleachers there. Black Eyed Please out there looking for some love from the fans. There it goes. I saw a guy there in front of the Lost Dutchman tattoo sign that thought he had it, and it just said warning track power. It just died right there, almost over. He still got it. He did get it. What a grab. Sports Center top 10. Look at that. I didn't think you got that. Congratulations. All right, let's give away some raffle tickets. We've got our halftime raffle prizes to hand out, so get those raffle tickets ready. We're giving away 2 prizes. Right now, your first raffle prize, it's the Beauties Goodie Candy Bag. And that is going to be 518092. 518092. Your second halftime raffle prize is Deadbolt knee pads. Your winning ticket for that is 211772. 211772. If that is you, if either of those are your prizes, get on up here to the raffle table just outside of the far turn and claim your prize. All right, Derby fans, we're just about ready to get back underway here with the second half of our first bout of the evening. As it gets a little crowded in here, we'd like to let you know again about a couple of ground rules. At all times, if you are not part of the bout production staff, at all times remain behind that yellow line around the track on the ground. There's a yellow line. If you're not part of the bout production staff, please remain behind that line. Multiple reasons, safety being the primary one of those. You don't want to catch a skate coming off the track to the back of the head when you're unawares. You don't want to catch one to the back of the head when you're expecting it either. Trust me, it hurts. But also to keep you out of the way of our outside pack referees and our photography crew. So one more time, if you're not part of the bout production crew, please remember to stay behind that yellow line as we get a little crowded here as the crowd begins arriving for the second bout of the evening. Secondly, just real quick, if you parked in the parking for the dispensary, your car is probably already towed. It is gone like so much smoke in the air because they are very serious about that. So if you parked at the dispensary, go move your car for serious. We are ready to get back underway. Our score right now, Runaway Brides 140, Brutal Beauties 27. And your first jammer for the Runaway Brides is Goldie Blocks, and she is out and is your lead jammer. And we'll get an update on that jammer for the Brutal Beauties momentarily when she makes her way back around. Goldie Blocks now catching up to the pack as the pack makes their way to the back straightaway. That jammer for the Brutal Beauties still pinned into the pack. Goldie Blocks one more time is now through the pack. Into the pack, that is. Trying to find a way past those defenders at the front of the pack. Meanwhile, there goes Witchy Woman with the jammer star in her hand. Witchy Woman out of the pack. Goldie Blocks emerges behind her, completing the scoring pass and calls off the jam. .5 points on the board for the Runaway Brides there. Your next jammers are going to be Cryptic Callie for the Runaway Brides. And for the Brutal Beauties, I believe that is Lady MacDeath. Yeah, it's Lady MacDeath. Lady MacDeath for the Brutal Beauties. Cryptic Callie able to find a way to the front of the pack. She's your lead jammer for the Brutal Beauties. Lady MacDeath to the front of the pack, gets those Brutal Beauties, gets those Runaway Brides blockers pushed out of play, and she's out of the pack as well. Cryptic Callie now trying to find her way through the defense and complete this scoring pass. Gets past a couple of skaters, gets her bearings, sees Lady MacDeath coming on with full head of steam and calls it off. 3 points up for the Runaway Brides. And it looks like we're going to have a power jam for the Runaway Brides. We do have a penalty up on the board for the Runaway Brides, for the Brutal Beauties blocker in the previous jam. So it's going to be a power jam for the Brides, and that is Watermelon jamming for the Runaway Brides.
Beauty's doing a great job of recycling to the front to prevent that jammer from breaking out, while the Runaway Brides trying to play some offense for that jammer.
Watermelon now up to the front of the pack and meets up with that defense there. I can see Craven Cadavers down there with that black Coffin Draggers helmet on. And Rigama Roo is in there with the defense as well. And there you see Watermelon able to make her way through with 21 seconds to go in the power jam. And she's out of the pack.
Beauty's doing a great job of trying to stay together amidst all the offense, while the Brides wait for their plan to attack to get some points for their jammer.
Watermelon finishes off that scoring pass, and that's going to do it. The jam clock expires.
Looks like the Brides were able to pick up 5 points during that power jam. Pretty successful defense for your Beauties.
Setting up the jam now for the Runaway Brides is Anita Margarita. For the Brutal Beauties, it's Evil Twin. Down to the inside, both jammers go. Anita Margarita bumped off onto the infield by the Evil Twin, now trying to find her way to the front of the pack. Evil Twin doing battle with that blocker for the Runaway Brides. Anita Margarita down to the inside, and she's your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides.
Evil Twin able to get out here on turn 3 as Anita Margarita tries to get some points for her team.
25 seconds left on the jam clock. Anita Margarita is trying to get her hips in front of a couple of skaters. That's how you score the point, is when your hip is in front of another skater's hip. So that's what she was aiming to do there before calling the jam off.
Looks like we've got Phoenix taking the jammer line for your beauties.
And there goes Quiver Phoenix. Pink down a jammer is yelled out from the infield, and there's the penalty up on the board. So it's going to be another power jam for the Runaway Brides. We've got MILITIA on the jammer line, all by her lonesome now for the Runaway Brides. Quickly.
MILITIA able to run out there in turn 1.
45 seconds to go here in the power jam. MILITIA now catches up to the pack. Runaway Brides keeping that pack separated. MILITIA now up to the front of the pack to deal with those blockers on her own, but able to get them pushed out of play, and she's through the pack. 30 seconds to go in the power jam. Coming up on us now here, the main pack just passing in front of the announcer's nest. There goes MILITIA racing to the front of the pack. Had a blocker there helping her out, able to split those last 2 defenders and completes the scoring pass. She's got 10 seconds to go, and she's going to try to catch up to the pack here. You can see her defenders holding up that Brutal Beauties skater. And MILITIA weaves her way through the pack and able to finish the scoring pass and pick up 5 more points there at the end of the power jam.
We've got Abby Arsenic taking the jammer line for your beauties.
And she's out there all by her lonesome. MILITIA also picked up a penalty during that power jam, so we swing back the other way, and it's a power jam for the Brutal Beauties. Abby Arsenic out there to do the honors. Big collision there, a couple skaters down. Abby Arsenic just kind of stops and waits for the traffic to clear, and then gets up and goes on her way.
The beauties trying to play some offense for their jammer, but those brides keep recycling in front.
Halfway through the power jam, Abby Arsenic is still trying to fight her way through. The problem that the beauties are facing here is that they also have 2 of their blockers in the penalty box, so they've only got 2 blockers out there trying to help break that wall of Brides defenders. With 12 seconds to go here in the power jam, Abby Arsenic still trying to find her way through. And there's a collision, and Hollywood knocked down to the ground, but time's going to expire before anything can come of it. Excellent defense played by the Runaway Brides. Setting up the jam now is going to be Quiver Phoenix for the Brutal Beauties, and that's Goldie Blocks for the Runaway Brides.
Waiting on that whistle to start the jam. 4 on 3 in the blocker box. Quiver Phoenix trying to run out on that high. Some offense played by Mourning Madness. And Phoenix is out of the pack. She will be your lead jammer for this jam. Goldie Blocks still behind Beauty's defense.
Quiver Phoenix down along the inside and able to complete a scoring pass. Quiver Phoenix, one of our newest Arizona hotshots, finishes that scoring pass and calls off the jam. 4 points on the board for the Brutal Beauties.
Fun fact about Phoenix, she actually competes in archery tournaments. She placed first in the Arizona 3D Championship Series.
Stepping up to the jammer line is Cryptic Callie for the Runaway Brides. For the Brutal Beauties is going to be Evil Twin.
Evil Twin greeted by MILITIA on the high side. And then Lux Breaker in the middle as Cryptic Callie is now your lead jammer, breaking out of that pack there in the straightaway.
Big collision there. Evil Twin taken down unceremoniously to the infield. Still trying to clear the pack as we're halfway through the jam clock. Cryptic Callie finishes a scoring pass, coming around for some more. And there goes your Beauties jammer. That is Evil Twin. Out of the pack, Cryptic Callie finishes her scoring pass and calls off the jam.
We've got Craven Cadavers taking the jammer line for your Beauties. And it looks like Callie's going to be sitting in the penalty box, so it's going to be a power jam for your Beauties.
Brutal Beauties short a couple skaters due to some injury problems, so Craven Cadavers and Zora La Bruja from our Coffin Draggers subbing in and helping them fill the roster tonight. Craven Cadavers there mid-pack trying to find her way, get some help. Big movement of defenders there, squeezing by on the outside and able to dodge that last blocker, and Craven Cadavers out of the pack.
Beauty's trying to keep a goat in the back, nice and slow. As Craven comes up to score. Craven Cadavers trying to find an opportunity to break past Lightning and Milani.
Mourning Madness tries to clear a path for her, and Craven Cadavers exits the pack, finishing the scoring pass. But that's going to do it for the jam clock. Jam clock expires. 5 points on the board for the Brutal Beauties during the power jam.
We've got Princess Leia taking the jammer line for your Beauties.
And that's Hollywood jamming for the Runaway Brides. Both jammers choosing to start in the snack bar.
Princess
And
Leia.
There we go with Hollywood emerging quickly from the pack. Princess Leia now right out behind her. Princess Leia is going to try to force the issue. Two fleet of foot skaters. Hollywood back up to the pack. Up to the high side. Tries to get a couple of points and calls off the jam.
We've got Hattori Hanzo taking the jammer line for your Beauties.
And jamming for the Runaway Brides is going to be Novocaine. We are underway. Hattori Hanzo quickly to the front of the pack. There's a couple of defenders up there.
Hattori Hanzo able to push those blockers out of play. She is now your lead jammer for this jam. Novocaine almost past that last line of defense for your Beauties. Taking it from Mads to the high side twice and is able to break out here in turn 4 as Tori comes up for some points. She's able to break out on that low. Gets back on and calls that jam.
Able to call it off with Novocaine approaching the pack with alacrity. 2.5 minutes to go here until the quarter break. 3 points on the board for the Brutal Beauties. We've got Hollywood for the Brutal Beauties and for the, Hollywood for the Runaway Brides. For the Brutal Beauties, Lady MacDeath. And there goes Lady MacDeath, and here comes Freya Hugs. And that means
looks like
it's
the
a
Beauties
timeout.
are going to be challenging that penalty, a legal procedure on their jammer from that last jam.
So, challenge called by the Brutal Beauties, so we're going to have to wait and see from there.
Nutrition One School Lunch Program. Food is the energy that growing children need. Providing healthy, great tasting, and freshly prepared whole foods to local schools valley-wide, Nutrition One School Lunch Program works closely with the Arizona Department of Education and the USDA to make sure our children are getting the nutrition they need daily to stay focused and get the best out of their school lunch.
Another of our league sponsors, Above and Beyond Palette Creations, they're repurposing palettes into art. Travis has created all of our signage here in the Hall of Dames, those beautiful team signs along the front straightaway and our standings for it up here, as well as the mural along the back wall. For information or to commission work, see Bobby Ross, the coach of the Schoolyard Scrappers. I'd see him after the bout tonight, not before, probably. I think he's going to be busy before the bout. You can also find them on Facebook, Above and Beyond Pellet Creations. And we got the announcement up here from referee Tabitha Christie. Call on the track stands, challenge unsuccessful, so the Brutal Beauties will forfeit a timeout, and we will proceed with the game action. So that means that as we get back to the game action, the Runaway Brides do have a power jam. Coming out to take the power jam is going to be Hollywood.
That's the whistle for the jam. Hollywood approaching the pack, trying to break through on that back wall of defense. Everyone trying to keep it nice and slow, but she breaks out on that inside.
Hollywood now down the front straightaway. And around those defenders at the back of the pack, and then through the defenders at the front of the pack. Hollywood quickly through, slicing through that pack halfway through this power jam. This time Hollywood runs into a little bit of defensive interference and gets inched down to the infield. You'll see those skaters just barely tiptoeing forward again with some Derby 101. You can't stop. You cannot stop on the track, and you cannot go backwards. You have to keep going forwards at all times. It can be nearly infinitesimal, but you do have to keep moving forward. Hollywood finishes that scoring pass, checks the clock, and she calls off the rest of the jam. So 10 points on the board for the Runaway Brides during the power jam. Your next jammers are going to be number 95, Lightning the Queen for the Runaway Brides, and number 97, Rigama Roo for the Brutal Beauties.
Each team will be down a blocker since we had a couple blockers get some penalties in that last jam. 3-on-3 in the blocker box. Rigama Roo towards the front of the pack. Almost out, but Nova delivering that hit to the inside.
And there's Lightning the Queen finding her way along the inside of the track. And she's your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. Rigama Roo still trying to find some purchase. And to the front of the pack, she's got one defender to deal with, but it's Novocaine, so you know. Lightning the Queen down to the inside, weaves her way around the pack. Quarter clock has expired, so this will take us to the quarter break. Rigama Roo exits the pack as well. Six seconds to go on the jam clock. Lightning the Queen up to the pack. Manages to get that corner, gets there before that last defender. And that's going to take us up to the quarter break. So we will step aside here for a 5-minute chance to catch our breath. 5 points on the board for the Runaway Brides. Excuse me, not 5 points, 9 points. I misheard. 9 points for the Runaway Brides. Takes them up over 200 for the bout. 203 to 39 your score. Let's give away some raffle prizes. It is time for your raffle prizes here at the end of the third quarter. Before we get to that, we'd like to let you know the 50-50 raffle is up to $300. That's $150 to the winner and $150 to benefit our national champion, Minor Assaults, as they prepare to go to Houston, Texas to defend their title in June. Here's your raffle prizes. Get those tickets ready. First up, 4 tickets to the Maricopa County Fair, which is coming up very, very soon. Your winning ticket for the Maricopa County Fair, Oh, you know what? I can't compete against that. We've got some stuff going out there, merchandise coming on down. There goes yeah, I saw a shirt getting tossed back there. Now coming down the back straightaway. The crowd's really, there you go. Who wants a T-shirt, man? You're going to have to go ways to beat that guy that caught the one at halftime. Oh, and it gets handed. Oh, that's nice. All right. I keep teasing this, but we're going to get to it. Raffle prizes. 4 tickets to the Maricopa County Fair, your first raffle prize. 211779. 211779. And your second raffle prize here in this quarter break, it is a necklace from the Superstitious Jackalope. And that's going to be 518080. 518080.
We would like to give a birthday shout out tonight to Darian. It's her 13th birthday. Happy birthday, Darian. I also heard that she's going to be trying out for our minor assaults, which is our junior team this September. Happy birthday, Darian.
We are ready to get back to the action. Quick check of the score. Runaway Brides 203, Brutal Beauties 39. The fourth quarter is underway. That's Anita Margarita for the Runaway Brides. And I think that was Quiver Phoenix for the Brutal Beauties. You know me and my eyesight. Anita Margarita emerges from the pack, and she is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. That Beauties jammer fighting her way through the pack, trying to get back to the front. and able to get around that last defender being out of play. As Witchy Woman is who it is. Witchy Woman is your jammer for the Brutal Beauties. Excuse me. Anita Margarita finishes her scoring pass and calls off the jam.
Looks like we're going to get a power jam for the Beauties. Princess Leia doing the honors, your captain of the Brutal Beauties. Princess Leia trying to break past those last two defensive blockers, and they are out of play. Princess Leia trying to break through that pack, but they just keep recycling in front of her. She is still not out of the pack. Abby Arsenic delivering a very hard hit to Goldie Blocks on the high side. I'm hearing the refs call that split pack.
Princess Leia still trying to fight away, keeps getting shuffled down to the infield along that wall of defenders. Like a picket fence, just kind of rotating her down and around. 5 seconds to go here in the power jam. That Bride's defense has been sturdy all night. Princess Leia emerges, but it's all academic.
A hard fight for the duration of that jam. We would like to remind all of our fans in the building to please remain behind the yellow line. Please make sure that you are behind the yellow line, especially if you have an open container, because if you spill that on that track, it'll delay our game.
Hitori Hanzo jamming for the Brutal Beauties. And Hollywood is jamming for the Runaway Brides. Hollywood quickly to the front of the pack, threads her way through the defense, and Hollywood is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. Hitori Hanzo still mid-pack. Hollywood finishes a scoring pass down along the inside, just rolls on through.
Tori trying to break past Anihilatia, and her team trying to play some offense for her.
Hollywood finishes a scoring pass. 20 seconds left on the jam clock. Hitori Hanzo still trying to find an opening, but still not able to get her way through. Five seconds to go on the jam clock. Hitori Hanzo able to get out of the pack. Hollywood not satisfied to just let it go. Finishes off a scoring pass and calls off the jam.
Oh God, heard that.
19-point jam on the board for Hollywood. Setting up to jam now is going to be MILITIA for the Runaway Brides, and that's Lady MacDeath for the Brutal Beauties.
Lady MacDeath trying to go high, but is greeted by Lightning the Queen. Meanwhile, MILITIA trying to break past that back defensive wall. And Milani Mangler trying to play offense for her. Both jammers still in the pack. But outruns MILITIA on turn 2. She'll be your lead jammer for this jam.
Up to the front of the pack comes Lady MacDeath for the Beauties, trying to find an opening in that wall of defenders. Ever present as ever. Stoic and solid, clad in black jerseys at the front of the pack like they've been all night. And there she goes, Lady MacDeath able to find an opening and gets on through. Lady MacDeath out in front. Your lead jammer is behind her. That's MILITIA. And MILITIA's content to let some time run off the clock. And MILITIA calls it off. Setting up to jam now for the Brutal Beauties. That is going to be Quiver Phoenix. And for the Runaway Brides, waiting for 1 second. That Bride's jammer is leaned all the way over, and I cannot see who that is.
It is Luxbreaker.
Luxbreaker jamming for the first time tonight for the Runaway Brides. Meanwhile, to the front of the pack quickly goes your jammer for the Beauties. Now the pack catches up and everything just kind of gets all combobulated in there. Luxbreaker down to the inside. Luxbreaker able to break through. She's your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides.
Oh, Quiver Phoenix taking a hard hit from Callie. The Beauty's trying to assemble a wall here in the back to greet that Bride's jammer. Quiver Phoenix out of the pack.
Quiver Phoenix up out of the pack. So she's clear of the pack. 13 seconds to go on the jam clock. You've got Luxbreaker now trying to approach the pack and finish off another scoring pass. And she calls off the jam after getting past the first couple of blockers. Literally a couple of blockers. 2 points on the board for the Brides. It's going to be Goldie Blocks jamming for the Runaway Brides. For the Brutal Beauties, it's Evil Twin.
Evil Twin trying to run on that high side and break out of that pack. Both jammers still in as Goldie Blocks is able to break out here in turn 2. Evil Twin greeted by a 3 defensive wall. Here comes Goldie Blocks for her first scoring pass. She's able to run right on out on that high side.
Evil Twin trying to follow her. Just not able to get through. You saw as Goldie Blocks approached that defensive wall, she was able to get right on through, and then they just came right back together, and Evil Twin was blocked off. Evil Twin now out of the pack. Goldie Blocks trying to finish off a scoring pass, gets pinned up against the rail, so she calls off the jam.
Looks like Evil Twin picked up a penalty during that last jam, so she's going to be sitting in the penalty box, and it's going to be a power jam for your Runaway Brides.
Before we get to that action, we're going to have a stoppage in play. Let's find out it's going to be an official timeout, so the regulators are going to talk this one over. Another one of our longtime league sponsors, Siphon Draw Apothecary. They feature all-natural, non-toxic, handcrafted skincare products made by our very own Dali de los Muertos. You can visit them at the Goldfield Ghost Town on historic Highway 88.
We've got a couple of league fundraisers coming up. We would like to give a shout out to the Doomsday Valkyries taco fundraiser called the Atacalypse that will be taking place on April 27th at Boycott Bar starting at 6 p.m. There's going to be $2 tacos and vegetarian options will be available as well as a bunch of really awesome prizes. The Atacalypse, April 27th at Boycott Bar at 6 p.m. Fundraiser to benefit your Doomsday Valkyries.
Lost Dutchman Tattoo Shop specializes in various styles from realism to traditional. You can even customize your own tattoo. Walk-ins are accepted. Located at 4121 North 19th Avenue. That's the east side of 19th Avenue, just north of Indian School Road. Lost Dutchman Tattoo. All right, we are ready to get back to the action. Quick announcement, fans. The food truck is going to be pulling out once the next bout gets underway. So if you're going to pick up food, the between bouts break is going to be your last chance to do so. One more time, the taco truck is going to be taken off after the next bout starts. So the between bouts break is your last chance to get food. Back to the action. The power jam is underway as I tell you about tacos, and it's Cryptic Callie quickly to the front of the pack. Gets those last two defenders pushed well out of play, and Cryptic Callie is out and clear.
Cryptic Callie coming up on her first scoring pass.
And Callie up to the front of the pack. Collided with that last defender there for the Brutal Beauties, but able to recover and get back up. Cryptic Callie now up to the pack, trying to find a way around that first defender. Gets by the first defender, picks up that point plus the penalty point for the defender in the penalty box. Now again to the front of the pack, trying to get around that last defender and able to make her way around Craven Cadavers. That'll do it for the jam.
Shoebox Ministries is our March charity of the month. They coordinate ongoing efforts for the collection and distribution of toiletry kits for people who need but cannot afford these items. Through their distribution network, Shoebox gives kits to individuals experiencing homelessness, to domestic violence victims, abused and neglected children, the working poor, and to others in need. For more information on how you can help, please visit their website at www.shoeboxministry.org.
Back to the game action, 10 seconds into this jam. Novocaine quickly to the front of the pack and is your lead jammer, but Princess Leia quick right out behind her as well. Novocaine up into the pack. Princess Leia able to sneak along the inside. We've got a lead jammer change. Princess Leia now your lead jammer for the Brutal Beauties. Deposited on the infield by Lightning the Queen, but gets back up and races by with the blockers out of play. So a lead change, first lead change of the night during a jam. Princess Leia gets by those defenders. Those defenders tries to jump and manages to lands on one knee. Back up on her wheels. 10 seconds left on the jam clock. Novocaine now looking for an opening, and looks like she's gonna try to play a little bit of jammer defense here. You can see her checking around behind. Princess Leia, though, able to sneak up and get by her, and that's gonna do it for the jam.
We've got Rigama Roo taking that jammer line for your beauties. Looks like Leia picked up 10 points during that last jam, bringing their score to 49. Your Brutal Beauties, 253. Your Runaway Brides. Got about 4.5 minutes left of this fourth quarter. But first, an official timeout.
So regulators timeout while we make sure we've got all the scoring from the last jam all situated. Mark your calendars, the next bout here at the Hall of Dames, the Season 14 playoffs. They're right around the corner. And it's Saturday, April 20th. The game is a doubleheader featuring 4 of our home teams from the Arizona Derby Dames. Each team is trying to secure a spot to play for the trophy in May. To start the night off, the Season 13 champions, these very self-same Runaway Brides, are going to be playing these very self-same Brutal Beauties. So a complete rematch of tonight. The 1 and the 4, heading into the playoffs. And the second game of the night is going to be the Coffin Draggers versus the Schoolyard Scrappers. Coffin Draggers off tonight, Schoolyard Scrappers competing later on this evening. All that's going to be right here at the Hall of Dames. Looks like we got the scoring situated. 3 points up on the board for the Runaway Brides, 10 points for the Beauties.
And from what I saw, it looks like it's going to be a power jam for your Beauties. You got 3 on 2 in the blocker box with the Brides the advantage. Fairly light pack.
So it's Abby Arsenic out there to do the power jam for the Brutal Beauties, and she's able to find an opening there, able to take advantage of that small pack, and she blasts through and takes the lead.
Great initial offense played by the Beauties as Abby comes around to pick up some points for her team. Abby able to avoid Hollywood to the inside, but some great recycling done by the Brides here in the front. Abby Arsenic trying to fight her way past Al Annihilator and Hollywood in the front. And they've got to let her go because they are out of play.
Abby Arsenic, wily move there, gets those 2 defenders pushed just out of play, and she is cleared to get through and finish the scoring pass. Just 5 seconds to go here in the pack now with those Brides defenders able to get together in the front, so they keep the pack moving, and that's going to do it. The clock expires on the power jam. 5 points on the board for the Brutal Beauties. Takes them up over 50 for the bout. Jamming now. It's going to be Goldie Blocks for the Runaway Brides and Evil Twin for the Brutal Beauties. One more skater out there as we get the pack set. Looks like everybody's ready. Finger guns. Cool finger guns. We're ready to go.
Evil Twin trying to break out there on that low side. Greeted by Novocaine in the front. Lady MacDeath trying to play some offense for her.
Now the back part of the pack kind of accordioning forward and getting back together. Goldilocks trying to find some purchase along the rail, now down to the inside, and she's able to emerge from the pack. Just a little more than halfway to go here in this jam. And Goldie Blocks is out and clear. And is your lead jammer for the Runaway Brides. Evil Twin now up to deal with Militia and Novocaine at the front of the pack.
Some great offense being played by both teams. Lots of action out there on that track. Goldie Box in the back with some strong Beauties defense, and Evil Twin trying to fight past those last Brides blockers. But time is out, and that's the jam. Got about 2 minutes left in the last quarter of this game. Who's here to see the Brutal Beauties? Who's here to catch these Runaway Brides? We definitely appreciate all of our fans here at the Hall of Dames. Thank you for coming out on a Saturday night. I need a margarita taking that jammer line for your Runaway Brides.
And your jammer for the Brutal Beauties is Rigama Roo as they head down through the turn.
Both jammers still not out of that pack as Rigama Roo is going to try to get past Al and Ilicha, and he's able to run out on the high with Al recycling right in front of her.
You thought you were by Al and Ilicha. Just kidding, you weren't by Al and Ilicha.
Both jammers still in the pack. We do not have a lead jammer yet. The pack has now taken an entire lap around the track. 20 seconds left. And Rigama Roo will be our lead jammer. She's got 15 seconds left on this clock for this jam.
Rigama Roo catches up to the pack. Tries to get a couple of points on the board before the clock expires. 3 points on the board for the Brutal Beauties. We will set up for what is most likely going to be our last jam of regulation. It's going to be Militia for the Runaway Brides.
And Princess Leia for your Beauties. Looks like the Brides picked up a couple of penalties. They're going to be down 2 blockers for this jam. And your Beauties will be down 1 blocker. Princess Leia running straight through on that inside. Militia able to run out here in turn 2. As Princess Leia approaches for her first scoring pass.
And that will indeed do it for the game clock. So this is the last jam of regulation. We'll wait and see how things line up and see if there is any bonus action.
We've got a lead change.
Princess Leia was bumped off onto the infield and could not call off the jam. So the lead change Militia pulls through, establishes herself as lead jammer, and calls it off. So we will wait and review 5 more points on the board for the Runaway Brides and 3 points for the Brutal Beauties. Now at the end of regulation, if there are penalties on the team that's ahead and no penalties on the team that's behind, we have what's called penalty jams. And as you can see the signal from the referees, we do have a penalty jam here. So bonus overtime roller derby. So we will have at least one more jam here. Bonus roller derby action as we get ready to go. And jamming for the Brutal Beauties is Witchy Woman. And then jamming for the Runaway Brides is Hollyhood. And that is going to do it. Hollyhood quickly out of the pack as lead jammer and calls off the jam.
We're going to wait on the officials. Your Runaway Brides, the winner of our first bout tonight with a score of 260. Runaway Brides to your Brutal Beauties, 60 points. High fives all around both teams. Such a great, fast, hard-hitting, action-packed game. Stay tuned, though, because there's a whole nother game coming after this. Your schoolyard scrappers will be taking on your bombshells. We did want to let everybody in the building know that our food truck will be leaving here shortly when the second bout starts. So if you did not have your fish taco order ready yet, now is your time.
We will step aside for a break. Team intros for our next bout will be at 8:10. First whistle, 8:15 for tonight's second bout. 8:10 team intros, 8:15 first whistle for the second bout this evening. Now let's give away another raffle prize here, our Between Bouts raffle prize. Get your raffle tickets ready. 4 more tickets to the Maricopa County Fair. 518-156.